Hi students. Today we are going to discuss about different types of charge distributions. This is a topic which we actually study in electrostatics. In electrostatics, first we have seen Coulomb's law. It's a vector form of Coulomb's law. Then we have seen the force exerted by one charge or on the other charge. Then we have extended the topic to force on a single charge by a number of charges, and then we define a very important term called electric field intensity at a point due to a point charge. Then we have to see the electric field intensity at a point due to n number of charges. So once we complete that, that is actually we can call it as electric field intensity E at a point E at a point due to point charge, due to a point charge. It actually means suppose you have a point charge, let's say that is plus q, and you can say that the electric field intensity will always be coming radially outwards, which is always coming radially outwards like this. Because the electric field intensity is not rotational, the electric field always will go in a radial direction like this. So if you observe the complete structure of the electric field which is present around this point charge will be exactly like a spherical structure. Now what my question is, suppose if you want to find out the electric field intensity at this particular point, or at this particular point, or at this particular point, anywhere we can able to find out the electric field intensity. Only thing which you should know is either you should know this particular distance, or we should know this distance, or we should know this distance, or we should know this distance. Suppose if you want to find out the electric field intensity which is E1 vector, what we should know is this distance R1. From this center to the point where we are measuring the electric field intensities, if it is R1, then the electric field intensity at this particular point due to this point charge will be Q by 4 pi epsilon R1 square, and the direction of this resultant E will be in the direction of radial direction, because it's a spherical coordinate system. AR is the radial unit vector and AR vector volt per meter. This is the expression for E at this particular point due to this point charge. So what people thought generally at that time was, when we have a point charge, let's say this is plus q is the point charge, and which is creating some electric field around it, which is creating some electric field around this, and there will be at some point there will be some electric field intensity. Here also you can able to get electric field intensity E2 vector. Here also you can able to get E3 vector and E4 vector. All four may be different because the distances R1, R2, R3, R4 may be different. This is R3 and this is R4. If all are same, the electric field intensity is also same. So now the point is, if you have a point charge Q, we can able to get the electric field intensity at any point around this. That means a point charge Q is creating some electric field which is not confined to a particular place, which may be extended up to infinite, because the electric field will be there up to infinite. As the distance increases, of course, the electric field intensity is going to reduce, because E is inversely proportional to R square. As the distance R increases, E is going to decrease. So the final conclusion here is, when you have a point charge, there is an electric field intensity E or E1 or E2 or E3 or E4, okay, which is generally different as the distances are different. Similarly, instead of this point charge, if you have, for example, some kind of line charge like this, or some kind of sheet of charge like this, which may be a metal sheet. Okay, this is a metallic conductor or a conducting wire. And similarly, suppose if you have a volumical structure like a cuboid or any other structure. Okay, so this kind of structure, if you have, then that we call it as a line charge, surface charge, and volume charge distribution. That means you have to distribute charge on these conducting materials. This is a conducting wire here we are taking, and it's a conducting sheet, and this is also conducting material which is obtained in the form of a cubical structure or any other form which consists of some volume V. Okay, so this is how we are going to get different types of charge distributions. If a charge is distributed in the form of a point, we call it as a point charge distribution. If the charge is distributed in the form of a line like this, whether this charge distributed is positive charge or negative charge in material, we call it as a line charge distribution. And similarly, if the charge which is distributed on a metallic sheet like this, we call it as surface charge distribution. And if the charge distributed inside this volumical structure, okay, which is a volume charge distribution. Okay, so in these cases, okay, what will be the electric field intensity at some point when you have a line charge distribution like this? So here the point is, when you have a point charge, there is electric field around this. When you have a line charge like this, definitely there is some electric field around that also, but which is even more or larger than the electric field which is around a point charge. Then what will be the electric field intensity due to that line charge distribution? And similarly, if you have the electric field around sheet of charge distribution, and what is electric field intensity at this point? And if you have the electric field around this volume charge distribution, at some point, what is the electric field intensity? This is what we should try to see in this types of charge distribution. Okay, so first we'll try to start with point charge distribution. We have already completed the electric field intensity due to a point charge, but we'll try to see what is the definition of point charge and what is the electric field intensity due to this point charge distribution, and similarly line charge, similarly surface charge, and volume charge distribution. First, we'll start with the point charge distribution. Here, the point charge is basically a very small charge. So what do you mean by small charge? That is, if we take the charge of electron, which is approximately 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, and if you want 1 coulomb of charge, then this will be 1 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, which will come around some 6 point change into 10 power 18 number of electrons. That means if 6 into 10 power 18 number of electrons are placed at one place, we call it as 1 coulomb of charge. That means 1 coulomb of charge is a 1 coulomb of charge is a very big charge. 1 coulomb of charge is a very big charge. You cannot call this 1 coulomb of charge is a point charge. So what is a point charge? Point charge is a very small fraction of this 1 coulomb of charge. Maybe 1 coulomb of charge by 10 power 9 times, or 1 coulomb of charge by 10 power 12 times. Okay, so we call that is a point charge. 1 coulomb by 10 power minus 9 is nothing but, sorry, 10 power 9 is nothing but 10 power minus 9 coulombs, or 1 coulomb by 10 power 12 is nothing but 10 power minus 12 coulombs. So that means 1 nano coulomb or 1 pico coulomb, or even we can say 10 power minus 15 coulombs, okay, or 10 power minus 18 coulombs. These are called point charges. Point charges means a very small charge which is distributed on some metallic spherical conductor. Okay, so let us now define what is a point charge. It is the charge which is distributed. It is the charge which is distributed, charge distributed on a infinitely, on an infinitely small volumical, because that spherical structure should have some volume, very small volume which is inside it, volumical spherical structure. That sphere is of very small one, very small one, which is of spherical surface should be there, and inside there is some volume should be present in it. And on that spherical structure, if you distribute charge, and that charge we are going to call it a point charge. It is like a very small sphere on which you distribute some positive charge, and that charge we are going to call it a point charge. A point charge. Due to this point charge, definitely, as we have seen earlier, there is some electric field around it, and that electric field will always be in the form of a sphere, because the shape of the point charge is sphere. The field around that particular point charge is also of spherical shape. Next point that we should study in each and every type of charge distribution is E due to point charge distribution. E due to point charge distribution. This topic also we have already seen in the definition of electric field intensity itself. In that it's very clear that E will be equal to Q by, there Q is the point charge which we are talking about, Q by 4 pi epsilon R square AR vector volt per meter. This is the expression which we already have got in the definition of electric field intensity itself. So in the definition of electric field intensity itself, the topic called a point charge, which we have already used. Okay, that means E due to a point charge is obtained. Okay, and this actually we get it from the Coulomb's law itself, right? So then we extend our topic to the second type of charge distribution, which we call it line charge distribution. In every charge distribution, first we should define what is the charge distribution, is there any parameter related to that, and what is the electric field intensity due to that line charge distribution, or surface charge distribution, or volume charge distribution, right? So now, what is the line charge distribution and what is the parameter in this we should discuss. And the parameter that we should discuss here is rho L, which we call it as line charge density. Okay, we'll come to that later. First, we'll try to see what is line charge distribution. Let us take a conducting wire, which is in the form of a straight line, or sometimes you can even take it in the form of a circle, or even you can take it in the form of a triangle. Any shape you can take it. You are folding a metallic conductor in the form of a triangle, in the form of a circle, or maybe it is a straightly stretched conducting wire. Now, what you should do is you have to distribute either positive charge by rubbing it with a cloth. All the charges will be distributed initially uniformly on this conducting wire. Now, if you distribute it with some other material, then what you will be getting is same kind of charges you will always get. So here, let's say you are getting negative charge which is distributed on it, and on this, let us take a positive charge is distributed. This kind of charge distribution, we call it as line charge distribution. Distributing the charge, distributing the charge on the conducting wire, on the conducting wire is called line charge distribution, is called line charge distribution. This is a very simple definition, but what we should concentrate here is the parameter rho L here. Now to define this rho L, what we require here is, let us initially, as we have assumed that the charge is uniformly distributed. Uniformly distribution and non-uniform distribution I'm going to discuss now. Here, the charge, if you observe, is equally spaced, looking like equally spaced, right? But what happens generally, even if they are uniformly distributed initially? Because these are all positive charges, there is a force of repulsion between them. There is a force of repulsion between them. This charge will repel with this charge will repel with this, and this will this. Every charge will be repelling with each other, and all the charges will become random, and that will become non-uniform after certain time. Initially, they may look like uniform, but after certain time, they'll become non-uniform. So what here generally we are talking about, most of the cases, 99.99 cases, is only non-uniform charge distribution. There is no uniform charge distribution which will be mostly taking only for the sake of derivations and problems. We will assume that the charges are distributed uniformly, but practical, there is no question of uniform distribution of charges, because all charges, if they are same, because they are distributed with the same material, they will repel with each other and they will become non-uniform. What exactly? So based on what you can say these are non-uniform, that's what we are going to see next. So first, let us try to define what is this rho L. To define this rho L, let us try to see what is the total charge on this. Even though these are looking like this is one charge, this is one charge, this is one charge, but you cannot say each and every single charge is called Q. What here we can assume is the total charge which is distributed on this is, let us call it as Q. Because this charge is a positive charge, this we should always call it as plus Q. The total charge on this line conductor is plus Q. And if you, for example, take this is a line conductor which is in the form of a circle, and the total charge here is also Q, but what is the change that you are observing here is, as the charge is a negative charge here, you should always take this is minus Q. And here on the triangle, you should take the total charge is plus Q. But we'll try to define this rho L for this particular case, because this is a straight conductor. At least we can say that the length of this will be L, and for the analysis, this particular one will become easy for us. Now, if the total length of this particular current carrying conductor, or we can say it's a conducting wire on which we have distributed some charge, and which is either uniform or non-uniform, which we'll be seeing later. The total charge on this is Q and the total length of this is L, then we can able to define this rho L for both the cases, uniform and non-uniform charge distributions. First, we will try to see for uniform charge distribution. for uniform charge distribution. What is Royal is? Royal, we call it as line charge density. Line charge density. Okay, let us now try to define what is this rho L is. It's a ratio of something. Generally, density is always mass by volume. Here, there is no mass and volume here. There are only two things here, which is either this total charge and this length. Okay, so that particular definition of rho L should be in terms of this charge and length, but which should be on the numerator and which should be on the denominator. So the charge density or line charge density is always defined as, for a uniform charge distribution, is the ratio of total charge on the wire, total charge on the conducting wire, or simply conductor, or simply wire, whatever you call, by total length of the conductor. So total charge by total length, simply, because both are for the conductor, we can neglect that. Okay, so total charge by total length. So we can call the total charge here is plus. As you take it for a straight conductor, the charge is positive, so it is plus Q. So you will be taking it as plus by the total length is L. So automatically this rho L also will become plus rho L because this charge is plus Q. Or suppose if you are taking a rho L for the second case, here the charge is, total charge is minus Q, then what you have to write here is minus Q by the length of that is 2 pi r, but you can write it as L. This becomes automatically minus rho L because minus Q by L obviously will be minus rho L. Don't cancel it. So just because it is minus Q by L, rho is also negative. We no need to show it. Rho L value that you will be getting is negative of something. That's what I mean, right? So now what here we should see is what is the unit of this charge. Charge unit is coulomb and length unit is meter. Okay, so plus rho L, or simply rho L is equal to Q by L, coulomb per meter. So sometimes what generally will be asking is what is the total charge when rho L and L is given to you, and that will be written as rho L into L, coulombs. So here we'll try to understand what exactly the meaning of this. Let us take a conducting wire of let's say 10 meters. Let us call this is 10 meters wire, and let us divide this into, so first you distribute a charge on it. Assume that because you are seeing this for a uniform distribution, I said later after certain time this will become non-uniform, but you are seeing for the case of uniform distribution of charges how the problems will be done. We'll try to see. Now divide this 10 meter into 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so this is a 10 meter conducting wire and you have distributed charge. Now rho L will be given for this is, let's say, 2 nano coulomb per meter. 2 nano coulomb per meter. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Rho L is equal to 2 nano coulomb per meter means in 1 meter length of the wire, there is a charge of 2 nano coulomb. That means in every, this is a 10 meter wire, if the length is same, this is 1 meter and this is 1 meter and so on. This last is also 1 meter. So in every 1 meter, how much is there? So 2 nano coulomb of charge, 2 nano coulomb of charge, 2 nano coulomb of charge, like this. 2 nano coulomb of charge, 2 nano coulomb. So everywhere in 1 meter, the charge is same. When the charge on every length, every same length is also same, then we call that type of charge distribution is uniform charge distribution. if in every 1 meter the charge is different, let's say this is 1, this is 1.5, this is 3, and it is 4, and everywhere the charge will be different, then we call that is a non-uniform charge distribution. But I said most of the cases the charge distribution will be non-uniform. You don't find this kind of uniform type of charge that means royal you will never get in the form of a number. Whenever you have a number like this, 2 nanocoulomb per meter or 5 nanocoulomb per meter or 1 coulomb per meter or whatever it is, that means the charge is uniformly distributed. So this royal, if it is in the form of something like xyz nanocoulomb per meter, then as x, y, z at each and every point will be different in a rectangular coordinate system, you can have this royal in a cylindrical coordinate system also, or spherical coordinate system also, based on the value that he has given. Okay, so you can call that is non-uniform. So whenever you have and variables like x, y, z or rho phi z or r theta phi. Okay, this is in rectangular, this is in cylindrical, and this is in spherical. Okay, so this is how we can get the uniform charge distribution. So for uniform charge distribution, Q will be simply equal to rho L into L. That means the total charge which is present on this, so present on this will be rho L is how much? 2 nano coulomb per meter into what is the total length of this? 10 meters. So this will become 20 nanocoulombs. It's very easy to get the charge when the charge distribution is uniform distribution. But the problem is when the charge distribution is non-uniform, it is a bit difficult to find out what is the total charge which is present on it. Now let's see for the case of non-uniform charge distribution. Non-uniform charge distribution. So as I said, in every meter, 1 meter length, the charge which is distributed on it is different. Then we call it as a non-uniform charge distribution. Then what is the definition of rho L, which is line charge density for the non-uniform distribution of charge? And this will be defined as the ratio of, you cannot have now the total charge by total length. It will be always in the form of differential charge by differential length. Now the values will be different for each and every 1 meter length or same length. Now this will be written as dq by dl. This is coulomb per meter. Okay, the unit is coulomb per meter. Now if you want the total charge, you will have to get it from this. dq is equal to rho L into dl. dq is equal to rho L into dl. This will be using in so many places. Let us remember this, right? But the total charge will always be obtained by taking integration. But what integration you have to take? It's a dl. You have to take line integration. So then line integral of dq will be equal to line integral of rho L dl. Okay, is this rho L, can you say, is dependent on this length? Here length means either it is x or y or z. Let us take this dl is equal to dx. That means this rho L, as I said just now, if it is non-uniform distribution, it must be a function of x, y, z or simply x. Let's say it is x square of something coulomb per meter. Okay, so then this rho L, which is x square, is a function of x. So you cannot bring this out of this integration. It must be inside the integration itself. Now, this line integral of dq will become q, which is equal to rho line integral rho L dl. This is how we can get the total charge when the charge distribution is non-uniform. Let us take, we'll try to understand that this rho L is independent of this L. That means uniform charge distribution. We have seen already. Rho L is independent of this length means rho L is just a number, as we have seen earlier, 2 nano coulomb per meter means this is for the case of uniform. This is independent of x, right? So rho L, you bring it out. Then what will happen to Q is equal to rho L integral of dl. Integral of dl is simply L. So rho L into L, Q is equal to, so rho L equal to Q by L, that is total charge by total length. This is for the case of uniform charge distribution. So if rho L is independent of x or y or z, we call it is uniform. If rho L is a function of this L, we call it is non-uniform charge distribution. That's it about line charge distribution. But what we have to see further is what is the electric field intensity E due to line charge distribution, because we have seen it for point charge, E due to point charge. We should also try to see E due to line charge distribution, right? So to find out that, let us take a line conductor, which is, let's say, straight, and assume that positive charge is distributed. You can consider it is uniform, but automatically after a certain time it becomes non-uniform. So whatever you are doing is, doing this particular derivation is for non-uniform distribution only. So you are doing it for non-uniform charge distribution. Now the point is, what is the total charge on this is, let's say, plus Q. And I want, because you know very clear that around this particular line, you have the electric field. Not only in this, it will be distributed till infinite. So, but I'm just taking only for my convenience. Let us try to take, this is the point where I want the electric field intensity. That is what is your heading is E due to a line charge distribution, or we can say E at a point. This you can even call it as E at a point. Okay, this is the point where I want the electric field intensity, but we cannot get directly the electric field intensity at this due to this line charge distribution. How do we get it then? We have to get it by using E due to point charge only. What is E due to point charge? Which is Q by 4 pi epsilon R square AR vector. That means if you have a charge Q here, and at this point, if you want the electric field intensity, if you know this distance, then we can able to get the electric field intensity, which is this much. That means before you calculate E due to line charge distribution, you know only one formula, that is E due to a point charge. So what you have to do is, this line charge, you have to make it a point charge. You cannot make this line charge a point charge, but you have to get a point charge in this line charge. So if you observe this charge Q, which is a very big charge because it is a collection of or combination of these many charges, but in that, if you want a small charge, then what is the only option is, you have to take a short section of the line. Okay, so this is a very short section which we call it as differential length. Okay, we can simply call it as, take a small differential length, this length in this line charge, then what is the charge which is distributed on this entire conductor is Q, but what is the charge which is present on this very small differential length is absolutely, we don't know how much is that, but we can say it is a very small charge which we call it as a differential charge. So we can call the differential charge dq here is, as it is very small, I can call that is a point charge. I can call that is a point charge. Now, due to this point charge, see here, this is a point charge, and I can able to get electric field intensity, which is Q by 4 pi epsilon R square AR vector. Now the point is, because this is a point charge dq, and due to this, I can able to find out the electric field intensity at this particular point, if I know this distance r between the differential length dl and the point where we are measuring the electric field intensity, because this is the differential charge which is exerting force at this particular point, the arrow will always be indicating in this direction. Okay, and you will always have a unit vector in the direction of the E, in the direction of the point where we are measuring the electric field intensity. So now just use this particular formula. But the problem here is, because of this small differential length, you cannot get the total electric field intensity. Because of this dq, you will always get a differential electric field intensity. So now the differential electric field intensity at that particular point is equal to q. Actually here is equal to this dq only, because that is the point charge there. Dq by formula will be same, 4 pi epsilon, but r here is same, small r. AR is the unit vector. The units will be same, volt per meter. But the question here is, you want the total electric field intensity. So total electric field intensity means you have to extend this small differential length to the entire differential length, and that will be possible only by taking line integration. Okay, so by taking line integration on both sides, you can get the total electric field intensity. But to take line integral on this side, we should have dl here. We should have dl here, then only you can take line integration. So if you observe, it is dq, so you cannot take it. So we have to observe that there will be some expression for dq which we have seen earlier, and that is dq is equal to rho l dl. I said here this entire derivation we are doing is for non-uniform distribution of charge. As this is non-uniform distribution of charge, dq we can absolutely take here is rho l into dl. Now if you write de is equal to the dq will be equal to rho l dl by 4 pi epsilon r square ar vector, volt per meter. Now you can definitely take line integration on both sides. Then what you will be getting is line integral of de is equal to line integral of, you can put like this, rho l dl by 4 pi epsilon r square a r vector. This line integral of dE will become absolutely E vector, which is equal to line integral of rho L. I said you cannot bring this rho L out because this is a function of length. So rho L will be always kept in under the integration itself. 4 pi epsilon r square a r vector, volt per meter. This is your expression for the electric field intensity due to a line charge distribution. But that line is a finite line here. That line is a finite line here. So you can extend this expression for infinite line charge distribution, that we are going to see. If this length, this is going up to plus infinite and this is going up to minus infinite, and if you distribute positive charge on it, at some point you can able to get the electric field intensity, and that is a very important derivation as far as electrostatics is concerned. Okay, so till now we have completed point charge distribution and line charge distribution. We have completed, and the next class we are going to see the surface charge distribution and volume charge distribution. The analysis will be same. Okay, we'll try to see the surface charge distribution and volume charge distribution in the next class. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel